Thank you for coming back. This is another session was presented by James Dalman, the founder of happyjoe.org and also one of the organizers for WP Bootcamp. Yes, indeed, in Austin, Texas. Okay, so thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. How are you? So let's get to the topic real quick because we have so many sessions. I want to share what I learned. Okay, thank you for the hearts. So Mr. James, the topic that he spoke about is called earning more money by selling value. So Mr. James basically gave a quick example how, as a scenario, like how when he was charging like $75 an hour to do, let's say, a graphic design or logo design. Hey Peter, how you doing? Okay, so this is weird. Okay, so he was basically talking about, take this example, why you have to charge based on the value, right? So when he was charging 75 for a graphic design, so it took him like 10 hours, so that's like 750 bucks. So what he was saying, one day another client asked him to work on a project. So he basically went to his shop and looked at different things and made the math and made the calculation how much everything will cost, and he made an estimate like maybe 3,000 bucks. But the owner told him like, look, I don't want to know everything about the detail. Just give me the price and I'll pay you. Does that make sense? And at the same time, that kind of made him think about, do I really have to say about everything when I charge something? Do I have to really go into the detail of everything? Not necessarily. So let's go back and take the example of like $750 for the 10 hours work. You see, the problem with that is that sometimes we don't look at the effective hours. What I mean by that, the effective hours, how many minutes you spend or how many times you spend on preparing the bills, the contract, and the time that you're meeting. So you have to add all that together. So if you add all the other works beside the actual project, you will find out that you actually made less. Does that make sense? But what if you add all those tasks and activities within your budget and charge your customer based on that? So what happened, instead of charging 75 an hour, if you build that graphic or logo graphic or any design graphic project for, let's say, 2,500 on a project base, so if you do that by hourly, this is like as if you increase your hourly from 75 to 250. Now imagine right now if you do any other project on a project base for like a 5,000. So if you calculate, like reverse it back to like hourly, it becomes like as if you charge like 500 bucks. So you don't want to charge hourly all the time. You got to change that mindset. So what he was talking about is, charge based on the value that you offer. And not just that, when you charge based on the value, you have to, give that result. Does that make sense? So the customer need to understand the value behind your service and the result that you're going to bring it to them, and go like that way. Because the hourly thought, I mean, that's not feasible, because if you want to think, I can build this website for like $10,000, let's say, I don't know, $80 an hour, but if you work 10 hours, but if you actually, pin down to every single task, you will notice you probably spend more than 10 hours on doing some other stuff. So you have to add that to your task. You have to add that to your work. Does that make sense? So think about, charging based on the project base, based on the value that you have to offer, the result base, and not just every time based on hourly, because after all, you're not an employee. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah. Yes, the value of the customer can be far more than the time it takes you. Absolutely. I mean, I think here's another interesting point that Mr. James Dalman talked about. Imagine if you spend 10 hours to build this project. What if you spend 2 hours and you still made the same amount of money? Wouldn't you like to do that? So why not spend less and still make more? Does that make sense? So we have to again move away from that mind shift of just hourly base or the freelance mindset. We gotta have the CEO mindset. Okay, so that was what I learned from How to Earn More Money by Selling Through Your Value. So that was one of his presentation, and the main takeaway was change your mindset, shift your mindset, and secondly, sell based on the value, based on the result. Okay, not just hourly. People are paying for your expertise, not your time. Absolutely, Peter. I love that. Thank you, Rhonda. I really appreciate it. So this is what I learned from James, and that's it. If you have any question, let me know. If not, I'm going to go ahead and end this and come back and talk about another presentation that I learned, because I'm basically sharing with you guys the notes and what I got the most out of this WordPress bootcamp event. Okay. all right, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the hearts. Give me a few minutes and I'll get back with another information on some of the awesome presentation by other awesome folks here at the WP Bootcamp event in Austin, Texas. All right, see y'all later. Oh, so was this the presentation you saw? Yes, that was the presentation. There was a PowerPoint presentation. I basically wrote some of the notes. I think they're gonna release those presentations later on their website, which is this one right here, wpbootcamp.com. And this is James, one of the instructor. You can check his website called happyjoe.org. That's him. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So thank you all for, joining me in here for a few minutes, and I'll see you back. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you, folks. I'll be back in a few minutes.